What's up, YouTube? We got a vlog. Trying like a new style. Seeing what I could do. But I just kind of wanted to yap and get on here, cause I was sleeping in my humble abode over to the left of me, and I was thinking to myself, damn, why do they hold my boy Ichigo? I just think, in my personal opinion, he just feels kind of different out of he's your standard MC anime character, friendship is power, this is all for my friends. But, they're just especially, okay, to be a little bit more specific, just gonna write my thoughts here. The fullbringer arc. Now I know. All the Bleach fans that this video may or may not, show up in their feeds. It's just, I think the fullbringer arc, I think it needed to happen, but it just was executed in the wrong way. Now, this ain't a deep dive on how to fix it, because there really is no fixing that arc without changing it significantly to being almost something else. So yeah, that's a different discussion for somebody who's an actual writer. But for me, what I like about the fullbringer arc, and that I think about a lot, really, because Ichigo, he lost in the past, this ain't his first loss per se. One top of my head, Yukiora, he got absolutely mollywopped. They literally said, "Come here, boy." They said, "Come here," and it's yeah, that would hurt my mental too, and that kind of hurt his mental just a tiny little bit. But in the fullbringer arc, it takes a different perspective, which I actually kind of like, and a lot of even modern anime don't really do, besides Black Clover. But we'll get to that. So what I like about the fullbringer arc, to be honest, is that at the start of the arc, post Aizen fight, he had to sacrifice all his powers to beat Aizen, because that was literally the whole point of the move. It was his final move. One attack, gone. So what I thought was very interesting was that he goes back to human life for, I don't know how long it was. I think it was for a couple months. I think it was a year. I'll have to fact check myself that on one later. So he's again just a normal human again, just kind of living life, going to school, which he neglected for so long in the show, but I'm fine with that because I know what happens. My hero, we know what happens when you focus on the school arc too much in these animes. It's fucking trash. But what I like about the fullbringer arc is that while he's a normal human, all of his friends still have their powers. So and since he's still the main character, he can still see hollows and all that stuff, but he can't actually do anything. So his friends Uryu, Chad, and Orihime will go and fight them, and Mr. Hattenclogs, Urahara. Give me a second. So they'll go and fight for Ichigo because he's a normal human. He can't do it, which makes him a little depressed, sad boy. And what I like about that in particular is just, I don't know, what would happen if an MC just kind of lost their powers midway through the series, and I just kind of thought that was really cool about Ichigo's character, is that he lost his powers and how he deals with that, to be honest. Now, after kind of that initial, like, he loses his powers in the initial few episodes. And the thing is, yeah, the characters and the villains are kind of ass. Nah, they're not kind of ass, they are ass. But it's just kind of everything, like, about Ichigo's, like, powers and what it kind of meant to him and how he manifests them. Like, the actual, like, fullbringer, like, power system is actually kind of cool. It's just like Soul Eater, so that's kind of dope. And that's what I kind of like. You literally just, whatever, like, your attachment to your, like, item is your weapon. So, like, somebody was like, boots, which was kind of lame. And the other dude had, like, a necklace that turned into a sword. That was kind of cool. So, I forget the guy's name. Necklace mullet guy. I'll put a picture up of him right here. So, he approaches Ichigo on the street, and he's like, yo, dog. I know you're ex-Shinigami. I can get your powers back. And, Ichigo already kind of like, kind of ready to get back into the fold because he's tired of getting carried. He's like, alright, I got you. We're gonna get your powers back, man. And he's like, oh, that's great. And I kind of just like how, like, I don't know, he's just kind of like rediscovering, like, kind of his drive and his power on why he does it, which I think is kind of cool because, and also what I like to see is that, like, the main character, like, isn't OP anymore, so, like, he has to be a little bit more crafty when he fights because, like, he can't just one-shot everything anymore. He actually has to, like, try and beat stuff. Like, he's kind of losing to small fry a little bit. And I just feel like that's kind of interesting, especially halfway through the series, is like what happens when your main character loses their powers. And kind of like how that want and that need for your power back kind of blinds them into, like, the villain. But that's what I just kind of like. And I don't know. Like, I feel like, don't get me wrong, the arc is not good, story-wise. Like, let's get that. Like, plot and story-wise, it's kind of buns. But, like, the stuff, oh, I just remembered. And then also, you get to see, like, Ichigo, like, work, like, a normal job. And, like, this, I forget her name, because, again, there's so many fucking characters. But, I'll throw up another picture of her right here. Hat Lady. Which, when he's feeling down, like, basically his mentor, I guess, even though he has, like, a 5, but his mentor kind of talks to him, be like, yo, like, you're enough, you're good, like, stop tweaking out. But of course, Ichigo still doesn't listen. And just seeing Ichigo in this normal, because ever since the series, since episode 1, like, he hasn't been normal this whole time. So it's just really cool, like, we get to see, like, these stretch of episodes where, like, he's not superpowered. And I just find that really cool. It's a little divisive, but I kind of like the ending of the arc just a little bit, especially, like, kind of just that, like, naivety. I don't know if that's a word. Naivety of the situation. Like, he just wants his powers back so bad that, like, this random guy that's kind of, like, a little bit sketchy, and you're like, he's a little sketchy, and, they try to play it off, but it doesn't really work because, like, the whole time they were kind of sketchy the whole time, but whatever. And then, of course, Ichigo does get his powers back in the end. But what I kind of like is that he's at his lowest. He's at his lowest, no powers. Dude just manipulated him, basically just gave him his powers to take him away again. to get like his Shinigami powers back. To wrap up the final thoughts, because I'm not gonna go through the whole arc because that's no, we ain't gonna do that. I'm just saying what I like about the fullbringer arc, and I think that it just gets a little bit more hate than I think it deserves. I think it was necessary in the story. I just think it was executed in the worst way possible. That's how really I'm gonna put it. Mullet dude is, doing his monologue, and then right as he's at his lowest, Rukia comes in. We haven't seen her this whole arc, which is kind of cool, and she gives back Ichigo's powers. Now, he does get his powers back without having to, like, really... I'm not gonna say he didn't suffer, because, man, he kind of did. And at the end, when he's at his lowest, and the person, and it kind of comes around full circle, woo, of, like, how he got his powers in the first place. Rukia's the one who gave him his powers. So, it's a little homage back to the first episode. And to bring it back to Black Clover, because they did a similar thing. When Asta was in the Sea Temple arc. I know my shit. Sea Temple arc, at the end, he got cursed. And he can't use his hands no more. He can't use his hands. He got cursed. He can't use his hands. So, he gets on a little... We get to, as Ichigo, like, we kind of get to see Asta kind of being a normal dude, even though in that one he is a normal dude, but let's be honest, he's not a normal dude. But we get to see him have no powers as well, and kind of like how he deals with that and how he goes through that. And then, there's a really cool scene in Black Clover that I kind of like. I know this is a Bleach video, but I wanted to kind of like, this is like a theme that I kind of like in shows. The moon, and I think he's sitting there contemplating, and Noelle was gonna come up to, like, I guess comfort him, but then in Asta fashion, he just starts screaming his head off and saying, "This is nothing. This is nothing. I will get through this. I just have to work harder. I won't let this get me down." And you know what? Even though it was a little cringy, and, like, of course he would say that, it's an anime, it's still like, damn. He's kind of him, bro. Like, honestly, if that was me, and I'd be like, nah, bro, like, it's over. Like, my career, like, I'm packing it up. I'm not in the Black Bulls anymore. Like, I'm leaving. I'm going back to the farm, and I'm going to just live out my days and just be a normal Joe, because what are you saying? I'm cursed, and there's no way to cure it, bro. Like, there's no way to cure it, but this guy Asta just doesn't care. Kind of the same way with Ichigo. He loses his powers, gets a little depressed, but like, he bounces back. But that's really about it. I just kind of want to make this little, like, pseudo anime discussion video just about, like, a theme that I liked in one of my favorite shows. And I know Bleach, they hoed Bleach a lot. They do. I just like the themes in Bleach more than other shows. It's about, like it has traditional themes, like, I don't know, that's a whole another different discussion. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get on here and try a new style of video. So comment below on either if my take was a good take or not. Comment below who your favorite character is as well. I'm curious in the Bleach universe. And, fuck it, Black Clover too. In Bleach, Ichigo for sure. Udohara, Yodorichi. And I'm gonna do like a new pick here. But I was really fucking with Yuhaba. He's cool. But those are my favorite Bleach characters. And for Black Clover, I really like Noelle. Noelle's really cool. I like Yami. Captain Yami, he's cool too. I also like Finral. Finral's really good. I don't know. It's just Black Clover, I'm not gonna lie, is really slept on. But that's a different discussion for a different day. Alright, y'all. Like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments your favorite Bleach and Black Clover characters. And yeah, guys. I'll see y'all in the next one. Let me know how y'all like this style of video. I might do some more styles of it. But alright, y'all. Peace.